If Russia makes a choice to further invade Ukraine, we are jointly ready and all of NATO is ready.
The NATO member countries continue to send a large amount of modern weapons to Ukraine to contribute to the modernization of the Ukrainian military.
The world is currently teetering on the edge of a new global conflict as tensions between Russia and NATO continue to rise. For decades, these two forces have been locked in a fierce geopolitical battle. However, recent military buildups and technological advancements have taken this rivalry to an entirely new level. This conflict impacts us from cyber warfare to arms races and geopolitical power shifts. So what's happening between Russia and NATO? In this video, we take an in-depth look at the escalating crisis and examine how it could lead to the next world war. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell icon so you can keep up with our latest content. Let's get started. The current conflict between Russia and NATO results from the ongoing political tensions between Russia and countries in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. This conflict has been escalating since 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea. Since then, several incidents have involved Russian military actions near or within NATO's territory, and accusations of interference in other countries' elections. In response to these actions, NATO has implemented measures to increase its military presence in Eastern Europe and bolster collective defense efforts. These measures have been criticized by Russia, which sees them as an attempt to encircle the country and weaken its geopolitical power. The tension between Russia and Ukraine has its roots in the past. During the Soviet era, Ukraine was part of the Russian communist state. This close relationship ended with the fall of communism in 1991, when Ukraine declared its independence from Russia. However, there have been tensions between the two countries over various issues, including control over resources, language, and cultural identity. Russia's attempts to reassert its influence over Ukraine have been met with strong resistance from the Ukrainian government and the people. This has resulted in a series of conflicts between the two countries, including Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. The military buildup between Russia and NATO has been increasing for years. Despite attempts to negotiate peace, tensions have only escalated as both sides militarize their borders and increase their military response. NATO is deploying troops to the eastern Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania in response to Russian aggression in Ukraine. The U.S. has also provided more troops, equipment, and training to NATO allies in the region. The U.S. has also increased its presence in the Black Sea region and is leading several joint exercises with other NATO countries. Russia, on the other hand, has been increasing its presence in Crimea and along its borders. Russia has deployed troops to these areas and constructed new military bases, including deployable military units. Russia has also been developing new weapons and technology to strengthen its forces. The escalating crisis between Russia and NATO has led to the possibility of a cyber war taking center stage. Cyber warfare is an emerging form of warfare that involves the use of digital technology to attack and disrupt the computer systems of another nation. Cyber weapons are used to gain an advantage in conflict by trying to bring down an adversary's critical functions, such as its power grid or communication infrastructure. In this situation, cyber warfare could be used by Russia or NATO countries to inflict significant damage on the other party. The implications of cyber warfare are far-reaching and have the potential to cause major disruption in a variety of sectors. For instance, if one party could successfully hack and disrupt the other's banking system, it could cause significant financial losses. The global geopolitical landscape is a complex and ever-shifting environment. The current crisis between Russia and the NATO alliance is one of the world's most pressing issues today. It is a conflict that has been simmering for years, but tensions have recently erupted into open hostility, with both sides blaming the other for increased aggression and provocation. At the heart of this crisis are several geopolitical factors, including long-standing territorial disputes, the ambition of rising powers, diverging opinions on international security, and the continued presence of nuclear weapons. One of the most prominent territorial disputes is over Crimea, which Russia annexed in 2014 following a referendum that many international observers viewed as illegal. This has led to an ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, with both sides accusing the other of aggression. The situation has been further complicated by NATO's growing presence in the region, with several members sending military forces to support Ukraine. The struggle between Russia and NATO has been escalating over the past few years, leading many to worry that we may be on the brink of a new world war. Each side is striving to outdo the other in a race to bolster its military power, leading to concerns that an arms race between Russia and NATO could result in a more dangerous global security situation. Russia's efforts have been focused on modernizing its armed forces and investing heavily in nuclear weapons. Moscow has significantly improved its nuclear arsenal, increasing the number of warheads and developing new types of missiles. NATO has responded by strengthening its defense capabilities, but the alliance is still far behind Russia's military strength. The increasing tension between Russia and NATO has reignited the debate about the possibility of a new world war. Russian influence in Europe has been growing in recent years, especially after it annexed Crimea from Ukraine in 2014. This event set off a chain reaction that resulted in sanctions against Russia by numerous European countries and the United States. In response, Russia has bolstered its military presence in Europe, particularly near Eastern European countries such as Ukraine and the Baltics. In addition to the military buildup, Russia is also accused of attempting to influence European politics through cyber attacks, propaganda campaigns, and political interference. In 2016, there were reports that Russian hackers had infiltrated computer systems in multiple European countries to influence the outcome of elections. The crisis between Russia and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, has been closely watched by other nations worldwide. Countries such as China, India, and Brazil have all indicated that they are concerned about the potential for conflict. China in particular has openly voiced its concern, calling on both sides to de-escalate and find a peaceful resolution. Other nations have also been wary of Russia's increased military presence in Europe. NATO members such as France and Germany have warned against further provocation and emphasized the need for dialogue and diplomacy. They have also criticized Russia's actions in the region and called on them to respect international law. At the same time, many nations in Europe remain wary of potential Russian aggression. Countries such as Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia are increasing their defense spending in response to growing tensions between NATO and Russia. What has escalated tensions between Russia and NATO? The world has been on edge with the mounting tensions between Russia and NATO. Recent events have pushed the brink of conflict even closer, leaving many asking, is this the start of World War III? Since 2014, relations between Russia and the West have deteriorated significantly. The annexation of Crimea by Russia, their involvement in the conflict in eastern Ukraine, and accusations of political interference have all contributed to a significant escalation of tensions. In response to these actions, NATO has moved forces into Eastern Europe, prompting angry reactions from Moscow. In addition to increased military presence in the region, both sides have also engaged in economic and diplomatic measures, including sanctions and the expulsion of diplomats. The continuing crisis has seen both sides move ever closer to the brink of war. In recent months, NATO has conducted large-scale military exercises in the Baltic region and increased its presence on Russian borders. What is the future outlook for this conflict? Member states have caused much tension in the international community. While it is impossible to predict what may happen next, risks will certainly remain high, and the situation will require careful monitoring and management from all sides. It is important for all the parties to continue the dialogue, seek mutually beneficial solutions, and work towards a peaceful resolution. The hope is that this dispute can be solved without further military escalation, but only time will tell if this outcome is possible. In any case, the future outlook for this conflict is uncertain, and all members of the international community must remain vigilant. Now that we've looked at the escalating crisis between Russia and NATO, I hope you understand the issues better. What do you think? What can be the potential solution to this conflict? Share your opinion with us in the comment section below. Do consider liking and subscribing to our channel for more interesting videos like this, as it helps immensely in providing you with quality content. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.